Oh, and it will be a few days before we even get to see these. Jeez, nobody appreciates the art of a film and photography no more. Who was Alice Ball? From Paul. Good question. Alice Augusta Ball was a chemist who developed an early treatment for leprosy, a disease that caused the skin to change color, grow lumps, and tear. And it also caused numbness, which if meant and if people got so injured they might not be able to know it. These injuries could get so infected that they lost fingers and toes. In the early 1900s, when Alice Augusta Ball was even doing her research, leprosy destroyed people's lives. But it wasn't the illness itself that it was so destructive, it was a stigma or rejection by a society. For centuries, leprosy was thought to be a curse from God. Many societies saw it as punishment for sin or a bad behavior. They thought the people with leprosy were just even getting what they absolutely deserved. So it was nearly impossible for them to get the care that they expected or wanted nor needed. And around the world, they were banished to be isolated villages for leprosy. Patients, and by the time Alice Augusta Ball was starting her career, the world had basically given up on a cure. But when a doctor asked Alice for help in creating with a better treatment, she stepped up. Alice Augusta Ball was born in 1892 in Seattle, Washington. Her family was full of photographers, but back then, chemistry was part of the job. Alice saw them capture detailed images using substances like iodine and mercury. And it was a magical introduction to the world, and she was hooked. She went on to study how chemicals can be used as medicines or pharmaceuticals. She enrolled at the College of Hawaii and became the first woman and the first African American to earn a master's degree there. This was the early 1900s when women were discouraged from going to college. And in most of America was racially segregated. Black people were kept out of the school, restaurants, and hospitals that white people ever used. But for Alice, working on leprosy treatment was a chance to help free others from unfair restrictions. And it was also a fascinating and unconcord chemistry problem. At the time, none of the available treatments for leprosy were just very effective. In Asia, people found that an oil from Chattanooga trees brought some relief, but they were problems. Swallowing the drug caused intense nausea, so patients struggled to keep it down long enough for it to help, and injecting it didn't even work so well either, and it burned something terribly. For ages, doctors and scientists have been searching for a better way to get the medicine into patients. Alice Augusta Ball was 23 years old, and she was determined to find it. And the problem with Chattanooga oil was that as well as an oil. And the human body is mostly made of water, which doesn't even mix with any oil. And the Chattanooga can dissolve them in water, and it will work much better. Alice taught classes and labs during the day and then worked on the Chattanooga problem in her own free time. She focused on improving its sociability or ability but to be dissolved. To do that, she had to get rid of the part of the chemical that keeps water away and replaced it with a new part that attracts water instead. For after tireless of months of experimentation, she succeeded. Doctors began giving injections prepared using Alice's method. For the first time, many leprosy patients went into remission, and all the signs of the disease disappeared. Instead of getting banished, they were able to go home thanks to Alice's work. But tragically, Alice Augusta Ball never got to see that. Before her death of a long illness in 1916, shortly after her big discovery, she was only 24 years old.
But her work continued to help countless people around the world. It remained the most effective leprosy treatment for decades. In Thailand, it helped so many that the king gave a chalmuger tree to the College of Hawaii as a thank you. Scientists kept studying leprosy, and today, it's curable. To help end the stigma, it's been renamed Hansen's disease, after the scientist who discovered its cause.
Hey, could you hold that sandwich up just a little bit? This will be a very good, interesting thing.